Good morning, warm greetings, welcome, warm welcome to everyone. I hope the sound is clear. The translators may need to just unmute. I'm going to share with you some quotes because the subject is a fascinating one in terms of the meaning of the word. So the initial quote is Abraham Lincoln. He says very simply, "When I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. That's my religion." And so this word religion, it's going to be a subject to explore. You could say it's the Hindi is dharm, but meaning ethics or moral belief. Einstein said quite nicely, relativity applies to physics, not ethics. And finally, Immanuel Kant, he said, in law, a man is guilty when he violates the rights of others. But in ethics, he is guilty if he only thinks of doing so. Going to be really enjoying this expansion on or understanding better what is the Dharm and how we have this idea of religion in the West, but that it is a lot more than that. And to see the detail, the subtlety, and the magic of understanding what is our true Dharm. So warm welcome and handing over now to Brother Prashant. Good morning.
Hello and good morning. We'll have lots of opportunities today, tomorrow to explore this subject. But let us start with a few moments of attention. We start with the invisible prince. He sees himself as a presence, invisible presence. And he knows he is very lucky. He is connected to his alokik world, his invisible world. Every aspect of his world is extraordinary. To start with, his life itself is with God. Every aspect is a wonder. World of immortality, world that is beyond harm. He himself is a being of joy and love. Such is a truth. And this is not a meditation experience for him. This is his life and this is his world. Invisible prince. You know, everyone is divine and royal. divine. By that we mean there is nothing inauspicious in this region and in his world. Everyone is like this. Everyone is lovely, loving, and lucky. And as he looks at the physical world, he knows beforehand the temporary nature of the physical world. He knows that world for what it is. He knows the fictional nature of the physical world. And as a fiction, it is an extraordinary fiction. There is no complaint about the fiction. He can also see how havoc can be created just by bringing in darkness. All that is required is some ignorance, and the game can change. Invisible Prince, he stays in full light, full wisdom. Thank you. Today's discussion is connected with the word dharma. I'm just trying to see, I want to encourage as many of us to come in light, sound, it becomes more interaction for us. Compensate, where there is a distance by online, but we can compensate for that by meeting. And feel free to make your comments, use the chat. Involvement in different ways. So in the practice that we had just now, in the last few minutes, what happened? I'm using the board and some simple things we had chance to discuss before, but underlining some aspects of that. What was the first thing that you noticed in that practice? What is the important element for us as a spiritual student? You would like to tell? What is the one principle you would like to underline in our practice? Knowledge, we all get full marks. We have understood things. But in the practical side, what is the first principle for us? Practical yogi, in the practice of yoga. What's the first principle?
Concentration, remembrance, truth, invisible traveler, being egoless, being able to sit in silence, awaken, real self, stage, spiritual stage, remembering one is invisible prince, not crossing the line, go beyond sound.
All of this agreed. All these practices are great. But one thing to underline in this, first second, come in your experience in the first second. That do not waste time in analyzing. So if you are here, we are saying invisible prince. You're not starting with the body, relaxing the body, what is your first stop these thoughts and stop waste thoughts. No, start with the invisible prince. He is experiencing the perfection, experiencing his complete freedom from the body consciousness and whole story. He is completely free from that. He is experiencing his divine family. He's experiencing perfect. Family is also perfect. All are good. He's experiencing his perfect home. And he knows he's associated with the fiction. Fiction has episodes. Episodes begin and end. In the fiction, there are bad guys. In the Iron Age, you will see Iron Age plots. He knows this. He's not surprised. He is not disturbed. And all this is happening in the first second. Why are we saying first second? What is the reason we are emphasizing this?
Awareness. I think because Maya is also giving instructions. So in that second, we can realize our role and we can put full stop, not wasting time with Maya.
Good, very good. So if the principle is this and or reason behind, if you are not soul conscious, then ego is conscious. Ego is the king, not just conscious. Ego is in charge. And you are analyzing it, but that analysis is happening from ego. And ego doesn't want you to practice the real thing. Ego wants you to keep in the camp of analyzing and planning. This is why when you do decide, when you say, yes, you want to get into this experience, just do it. So worth writing it down, just do it. And we are talking about the highest and the best. Maya will tell you, do halfway, do the second best. Here you are saying you are going for the best. Invisible Prince, he is in his world of God, world with God now. He is worthy to be in the company of God, to be loved by God. Invisible Prince, he knows this timeless scenario and he knows this world of perfection and amazement. That dimension is timeless. It has always been there. Now you are experiencing it. If it is ego-based effort, you will just think about it, you will not experience it. Ego goes in that circle. Sometimes people ask, what's the difference between imagining and experiencing? When it is ego-based, it becomes an imagination. If it is soul-based, it becomes an experience. So we'll go in that direction. Other principle during the meditation practice, this is just two principles we are talking here. Other principle, do not use the language of I during the practice. Do not use the word I am loved by God. I. Just that word I is so deeply tied with ego all our life that ego will love to know that he is, spiritual also, that he is going to become yogi. Ego would love that. But here, your aim is to bypass ego. Ego-based effort is a block for us. That's why I use the objective language, just as an experiment. In time, you may be able to change it, but at the moment, as an experiment, see the objective language. So let us come to this experience again. So we are seeing the invisible prince. He knows he is very lucky. And he is lucky because of alokik reasons. And surprising, that truth is immensely beautiful. He knows everyone is lucky. That world is a world of immortality. Everyone is immortal. World beyond harm. Nothing in the three worlds can harm anyone, anything. It's a world with the God, world of God. Everything alokik, invisible. It's a Ravan-free region. That's why divine. If there is no demon, it is divine. It also means everything is auspicious. No desire even. Such is this world. If everyone is beyond harm, they can afford to be innocent. Just like Baba is Bholanath, Lord of Innocence, also all are childlike in this world. When Ravan is removed, this is the natural personality of everyone. Childlike, harmless, egoless, viceless, innocent, carefree, happy. That's why immensely lovely, loving, all and always. And this truth applies to all souls, humans and beyond. Truth applies to all. All are lovely, all are immortal. And once they are immortal, this is the personality that emerges. A region of love and happiness. This is not a meditation experience. This is the truth. Invisible prince is just seeing his life. But as he's seeing this, he makes it possible for others to experience it. Excellent. So now we'll come to the subject of today. But before we come to the subject, and I just want to check any comments or any questions, or Sarah, want to add anything?
Nice reminder to not spend any time analyzing. Then you get the contrast, and if you do need to think of something, it's more with the strength of that detachment. One question, the aim of 1 second is Kriya, but what about when the experience is not emerging?
Yes, it is not emerging when ego is mixed. This is the only reason. It is nice to know. And this is why start from the sky. This is like what we are experimenting here. Do not start from Prashant, do not start from the drama, but start from the sky. Invisible prince, as if you are seeing completely objective life. And as if the new I has to take birth. That old I is an ego-based I. And we have to give birth to this new I. New I has no hang-ups of the ego. Ego has got so much to worry about, so much to complain about. New I is innocent, as was said. It is carefree. It is coming from that perfect world. Try, experiment with this. Also to aim 1 minute at a time. And during that 1 minute, you can fully immerse in that experience.
Thank you. Another question. Enlightened living requires analysis too, although it is used more selflessly, doesn't it?
Sure. Analysis has its own time, but when you are creating time for yoga, at that time, go for yoga. Otherwise, ego wants to go into analysis forever.
Okay, clear, yeah. Thank you. So there aren't any other questions right now?
Sure. So we'll come to this subject of dharma. Baba likes this word, uses this word a lot. And this word is used in the Indian scriptures, mythology, also with the different meanings in different contexts. And connected with dharma, you also get another word that will give you flavor of it. Dharmatma. You might have heard of this. And the right translation for this is righteous soul. So Atma is soul, so righteous soul. This expression also gets used in our Murlis, Dharmatma. But it has got still different flavor. Today we'll see what all of this means. And it can get translated as religion, but today's word religion has got a very different meaning. That's why trying to understand this word better. Nice way it is, we try to explain it. I will give the one definition of it, and you will see the slide that describes it also, some words. It is a fundamental character or spirit of a culture, the underlying sentiment that informs and influences the beliefs, customs, and practices of a group. It is like quite a thing for those who are translating. So what we are seeing here, there are just some words to remember here. It is something deeper rather than superficially I am learning a good habit and trying to create a habit. This is something deeper at a level of character, at a level of spirit within you, underlying, sentiment, your instinct, deeper instinct, that influences. It is from there comes your customs, practices, and beliefs. So something that is behind even anyone's practices or beliefs. Something to reflect on. You can just write some of these words and reflect on this. We'll come to another few words, another definition. The set of moral beliefs, attitudes, habits that are characteristics of a group or a person. In the golden age, there is a dharma. Deity is a dharma. Baba likes to establish, Baba says, I'm establishing the dharma, deity dharma. But in the golden age, there is no concept of God. There are no churches, temples. There are no rituals. There is no chanting. There is no concept of God, and there is no concept of liberation and scriptures. So what is this religion? So obviously the religion that we associate with at present time, we are not talking about that. But dharma was there. And so you get an idea. There was a dharma, deity dharma, but it was not the way we understand it now. But there was a moral belief, attitude, habits that were part of this group. And it is the deeper instinct of the group also. It is not because some prophet has told and they have to follow. It is coming from their deeper instinct. Something deeper change has taken place in them. Some other words to associate with this word dharma. And I'll come to another slide. Some different companies, they have got ideology. You don't need a religion for that. They've got a core ideology, what they want to achieve. Maybe they want to create more employment. So each company, they think of what is their core ideology. It may be they want to make more profit for their shareholders. That may be the core ideology. Mentality and mindsets. So we will have a chance to discuss this. We have spoken of the beggar mindset and the prince mindset and the angel mindset, and the victim mindset. So these are mindsets that exist, values, principles, spirit, ethos, ethics. You get an idea. Word dharma means all of this. Such a subtle word, then it includes all of this.
Is it like mission statement?
Yes, yes. Mission is also, the one translation for dharma can be the duty. It is used with that meaning. One person may say, my dharma is to protect my country. So he may see it as his mission or duty. If we understand religion with this meaning, it can be used. But dharma has got its much broader meaning. So ethos can be one translation of it. Ethos, we use the word ethics, or social ethics. Now I will come to the whiteboard. Let's see. So here is our world. We have seen in our journey, our starting position is of wonder and fullness and immortality and perfection. This is the starting position of the invisible prince. Why we are saying, to come in this in a body consciousness, what is the one thing that goes wrong in body consciousness? It comes in the drama. We said even that is not wrong. Okay, everyone comes in the drama. Even God comes in the drama. We don't say that is wrong.
Bondage, ego.
Ego, yes. And moment he comes, he crosses that line, that dotted line, his mindset changes to he can lose something now. He can lose something. Ego feels, why ego feels he can lose something? Because that box, this whole world, this entire box is unpredictable. It has to end. Everything is going to end. It is changing in front of him. Such is the nature of this box. We are talking about a film. We are talking about a story. And if someone gets into an attachment to the story, no surprise, he's going to lose something. And things are going to go. Ego feels he's going to lose everything. When our present state, where we are not just creating little attachment, we are living in that story, living in that pot. So he can lose everything. But just you need to feel you can lose something. That's all that you need to get into. And this is enough to distract you completely. Such is the personality, human personality. I can lose something. And now our whole mechanism starts. I can lose some things. I have to worry about things. I have to gather things. I have to become greedy. I have to have sticks to protect who I might lose. I may have to get missiles, because I might lose something. And all this complication starts. The larger life of the one who can lose something is that he feels he needs something, he can miss something, he lacks something, and of course, he can lose something. This is the larger life. The unfortunate thing is, it is an eternal mindset. When Ravan takes birth, when you cross the line, this mindset is it forever. Because he may lose something, he wants to collect more gold as a backup. But that is forever. He collects more gold in that insecure box. And then he finds he is going to lose all of it again. So he has to collect more gold. So he's caught in this closed system, trying to solve it within that little box, in that ignorance. And this is the starting position for him. This is why his mindset is of a victim. forever. He is a victim. That's why you may meet some president, meet a king, meet billionaire, meet one who has got unlimited gold. Ask them, what is going on, and you will find they are potential victims. That is going on. They are in the beggar mindset. They all the time need something. They are in the slave mindset. They are dependent on so many things, helplessly. It all starts by, I can lose something. You just check this. Do you feel I can lose something? They feel themselves, they are in the orphan mindset. And all of that, we are talking about Ravan there. So we are talking about demon mindset. He can give sorrow. He's dealing with sorrow in different ways. We were saying earlier, this darkness creates havoc. Darkness of ignorance. All along we are talking about prince. He is still the prince. It is not that he was prince sometimes and now he's something else. He's still the prince, but all that has happened, he has crossed the line, comes in this darkness of ignorance. He can't see that he is getting caught into something that is temporary, and he doesn't need to get caught into this, but then gets drawn into it more and more until he is absolutely drowning. And now he has to be seen as nice. So he has to talk about love and sing songs of love, and he has to talk about, being kind and loving and do some charity work. But underneath the full program is he has to deal with the victim and beggar and slave and orphan within him. He's going to lose. He's a victim. He needs something. That is the core ideology. And from here comes his dharma. There is a dharma. Every area has got dharma. So you will find as he goes down this spiral, it expresses his mission, expresses in different ways. When he's at the warrior level, warrior phase, he will have his own dharma. When he's at a merchant level, he will have his own dharma. Maybe he has to, warrior, he wants to prove that he is better than someone else. That is the way he can sort of get some sense of security. Merchant, he wants to collect more gold or eat more. Then there is the Shudra level. It all has its own dharma, manifestation in different ways. And then there is the demon. So someone may be in the same religion, our present religion, and they within the religion, their interpretation, even of the scripture, will be different based upon whether he is at the warrior level, where he is on the spiral. Accordingly, his presentation and understanding, interpretation of the religion will be different. Then there is Brahmin also, someone may be scholarly, trying to understand religion in a scholarly way. But warrior, he wants to interpret in one way. He ignores some side, he will catch hold of some other side. And this applies, to science. Science, they might say, I don't believe in religion, I don't believe in God. But he has his own dharma. And if a scientist is at the level of the warrior, he will have his own dharma, his code, his ideology, his practices. If he's merchant, if he's Shudra, he will have his, they may be atheist, but they will have their own dharma, their ideology. And it can create a group and it becomes a collective manifestation. So I will read the one definition that was that we came to, the very first one. Fundamental character or spirit of a culture, the underlying sentiment that informs the beliefs, customs, practices of a group. So it can be a science gathering, and a few scientists, they all feel in a similar way. And then if they are at a merchant level, they want to come out with this formula so that they can sell it and they can be rich. And why are they doing all this? Underneath the issue for everyone is they are trying to address this. This is what the underlying sentiment is. Underlying instinct is they are going to lose. They are potential victims in some way. And that's why they have to do something. What happens when you understand the spiritual understanding? What is the big change that can happen? Let us come to the invisible prince who has become conscious. And when he is conscious, when he's in full light, the proof that he's in full light, he knows his complete independence from the story. If he's still dangling in it, then he has not woken up. If he's still saying, this is mine, this is mine, this is me, then during those seconds, he's not awake. Sign of full light is that he understands that's a story. Even children, if they are watching a story, if they are watching a cartoon, they don't say that is mine. They are watching the cartoon and they know there is a separate world. He has his life with mommy, daddy, and his world that is separate, and cartoon is separate. In the same way here, the invisible prince, he knows his life with his family and father and his alokik reality, very clear for him. And he knows that is story, that is going on. And in the story right now, Prashant is talking, and this story may finish, this episode may finish any moment. So that is separate. Invisible prince, invisible, literally at this moment, like star with the halo, completely different. And he knows that family, they all are like this also. And they all are immortal. They all are safe. And they lose nothing because they have not grabbed anything in the story world. They find it absurd that anyone would think that way, that they can claim something in that story. It is, those images are going in front of his eyes. He can see that. So deep inside, he knows he loses nothing. No one can deprive him of anything. No one can harm him, even the slightest. So just one step taken, just stepped back. Even for 1 minute, you stepped back and you discover that you're never a victim, never a beggar, never a slave, never an orphan, never a demon. You know you need nothing from anywhere. You miss nothing, you lack nothing, you lose nothing. All you've done is stepped behind that line. We use the word soul consciousness, means this. And we don't need to do 7 days course for this. It is like Baba likes this game of 1 second. Invisible Prince has woken up, understood, seeing the great performance that is going on with complete independence. And it is a law that anyone, animal, human being, anyone, you become free from this. We said, I can lose something. You make someone free from that. Then they experience joy. Nature, if someone is feeling secure in some form, that is all. Joy is just this. They find an environment where they are not under attack. There is no harm is going to come to them, at least for the time being. Not physical harm, but their ego is also, the ego is the main one. Ego feels safe. And then there will be joy, So here, the invisible prince is egoless. And he finds he's safe and secure. And in that state, he finds his natural life is of joy and love. This becomes the natural life of any living being. We said natural state of everyone is so wonderful. We can literally use the word wonderland for our truth. Everyone. That's why, your dog, your cat, they like love. They like the experience of happiness. You see there, why? Because that is their innate nature. Right now, they all are, struggling to get back to that experience. But it gives you an idea. This is the starting position of all life. Joy and love. But love, it is not just you find, it is an immense love. Love of a Shudra and love of a victim and love of a beggar has a different quality to love of an angel. Here it's the love of the angel. This angel, he needs nothing from anyone. Needs nothing. He lacks nothing. He misses nothing. And he can lose nothing. He is never a victim. And he loves you. So that is a different quality of love. He's full. Internally, he feels full. And then he loves. His happiness is not based upon the weather or based upon something in the story world, what is going to happen. He's happy. We are seeing the different fundamentals. We are saying here, the culture and beliefs and all, the even habits, that is a manifestation, but it is based upon something fundamental. Now we are seeing someone who has got this, awareness, soul awareness, how his fundamentals are going to change. So there is no element of manipulation that will not come here. There will be no element of pretense. He doesn't need to pretend to be loving. He doesn't need to convince you that he's loving, send you a big greeting card, or sing a song. That may not be his priority, but He loves you, full stop. That will be his deep inner experience. That is our starting position. You want to add anything? Say anything?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, a few questions. Can the Dharm be dysfunctional? The question is, can a Dharm be dysfunctional if a culture is ego-based and anxious? Seems like what you're saying is it depends on where the souls are at as to their interpretation of the Dharm, but can the Dharm itself be inherently dysfunctional?
Yeah, Papa uses the word adharma. It can be translated as dysfunctional. In a way, we use the word because in the culture they are saying this is their dharma and this is their dharma. So that is the way that they use that term. But in Baba's definition, if you have crossed the line, then we are entering into adharma. And when we are right down in that spiral, then it is extreme adharma. Some of these expressions are used. But even those who are in extreme adharma, they are still talking about God, but from the eyes of the deity, it is extreme adharma. Everything is fallen apart. There is an absolute inside, victim and beggar, and they are talking about dharma. So the word itself gets debased.
Interesting. Yes, thank you. It's nice we need to redefine everything according to the way Baba sees true Dharma. Someone asked, when you were describing deity Dharma, do they have pure, positive, powerful feelings? Is that the deity Dharma?
Yes, as we were trying to grasp this, when you are in this, deities are just those who are conscious, and we use the word deity for that. The invisible prince who is conscious, and he has not crossed a line. He is not going to lose anything. He has got nothing to lose because he has not claimed anything from the story. So he knows he got nothing to lose. He's totally carefree and totally secure because he's just a point. Nothing can harm him. Terrorists and this, bombers, missiles, nothing can harm him because he's just a point. So he can be in the story. He is beyond the story. He is. So this is the personality, playing the part of the deity. But whatever the experiences are, they are coming from that angelic mindset, noble mindset. Zero, never a victim, never a beggar. Zero beggar.
Do souls come to the corporeal world because of the power of attraction?
Souls come according to the drama. There is a script, and just as we wake up, nearest example is this: say you are asleep, and as if you are in another reality when you are asleep, and at a certain point you wake up. Is it because of attraction? Maybe not, but you just wake up. You find yourself in this world, and then you carry on. It is something like that.
Can a prophet soul be called Dharmatma?
I would say more all the souls who are new souls coming for the first time, and they can be Dharma. They are clean. And prophet souls, yes, definitely.
Could Dharma be described as the ultimate religion?
Best is just to avoid the word religion. It has got so many meanings and associations. And so we understand the subject in a clean, new way.
It feels like it's been so debased that it's helpful
Yes.
to see it fresh. Could it be said the current spiritual teachers may be in extreme adharm, like the blind leading the blind?
I don't, as we said, we don't know individuals, but these words exist in the mythology, dharma and adharma.
Someone's asking, how do I know when the dotted line begins?
Sure. First is we first have to come back behind the line. And during the minutes, we created this time, invisible prince waking up, and invisible prince experiencing his life with God, invisible prince understanding his fullness and alokik world, invisible prince understanding his complete independence from the story. And the story, as we said, the role right now, Prashant, is within the story. An invisible prince says he's separate to the story, doesn't claim anything from the story. Try and grasp this. First, we have to come in that experience, and then we know the moment we start thinking something in that story is mine, we have crossed the line.
Yeah, thank you. To stay in the deity stage, one needs to be surrounded with deities only, like in the Golden Age. Otherwise, wouldn't it be difficult?
Right now, we have got the father of the deities, the supreme friend. He is here to stay in that company. And at the alokik level, this is company of the Father and family of souls. This is real and it is eternal. So we all that is required. We use paras, and more we use it, it will become stronger and become more and more natural and vivid.
Someone asked, can those perfect souls change once they get into this world?
Yeah, all change. That the downward spiral applies to everyone. This journey, journey from deity to warrior to merchant, this applies to everyone. All souls except Supreme Soul goes through this downward spiral. But now is the time to go up the spiral and make that really, really strong.
Just one more question. How does the invisible prince react to bodily symptoms or signals like tiredness or pain?
Just as the players, those who are playing, they deal with things, but because of that, inner happiness, they are dealing with it For example, when the ball hits you, it is coming at a speed. A ball comes at a speed of 40 miles, 50 miles, that kind of speed, it comes and hits you. It is quite painful. But they are not complaining. They put their head there and they think they are enjoying, and they are enjoying it, because that mindset takes everything. That sensation is there, but there is no misery. Different experiences are there, but misery is not there. Understand? Sensation means sensation of pain may be there, but misery is not there. They are not suffering. Once you have understood, you are absolutely safe and your world is perfect, then everything becomes fun. It becomes a game. Maybe I'll ask one question to you. One philosopher asked this question: what's the difference between optimist and pessimist? Do you want to tell? What's the difference between optimist and pessimist? He asked this question.
Optimist thinks positively, the perspective, the point of view. Pessimist thinks negatively. Glass half full or half empty, or maybe glass is too big.
Sure.
The more soul-conscious one is they deal with any situation, including pain, better.
Okay. Now this philosopher, he makes a joke. He says, optimist wakes up in the morning and says, "Good morning, God." 3 words. He wakes up, "Good morning, God." That is so exciting for him. Pessimist wakes up in the morning and says, "Good God, morning." So for him, morning is problem, and evening is another problem. Go to work is a problem, come home is another problem. He's busy solving problems. Same life for the optimist is full of opportunities. Same life. He says it is fun. All that has happened is where we are in the spiral. That's what makes the difference. If one is below the line, then good God, morning. When you are above the line, the same life, same thing continues, but you are seeing with different glasses. You are seeing it is a game, it's a play. And in a play, all things happen. Things go up and down, and all this happens. Tiredness may also come. Pain may also come, but it is all part of the fun.
Yeah, nice to get the feeling of the contrast of these personalities. One question, not directly connected, but in the philosophy we understand drama is actually fixed, but our emotions, are they fixed or not?
Sure. See it this way. Say you are taking your children to watch a film in a theater, and they're asking you, what is going to, is it the same film that they showed yesterday? Answer is yes. That film is fixed, and they show it every day. And if you come again next day, it will be the same film. So answer is that film is fixed. What is happening in the beginning, first minute, and what is happening in the last minute, it will be the same. Nothing will change. But audience, if the person is asking you, audience, how they react to this, how they feel, some are crying, some are laughing. Is it all fixed? That statement is not included when we say the film is fixed. It may be each time some scene comes, everyone laughs together, maybe. Some other scene, everyone cries together, that may be going on. But when the statement is made, film is fixed, what you are going to see, that is fixed. But then based upon understanding, some child may be afraid that there is a dragon and crying. If you clarify to the child what is that, and then child might enjoy the scene of the dragon and not cry. But that is where Baba's intervention comes. Baba is not telling us change the past, change the film, change the script. That is what change your attitude. Baba brings in wisdom. You become free. Discover your alokik reality and become free from that film. Then there is no reason for crying. Crying happens because of this, ignorance about the film.
It's something to reflect on, isn't it? But this inner heaven-like mind has its reflection, but not in the immediate film. I think this comment just came, but the reactions affect the outcome. So the meaning, the emotions, do they not affect the outcome in the film?
No, film is fixed. Film will go by its script. It appears your emotions are going to, no, it will go by the script. Someone in the audience is getting angry with James Bond. That doesn't change the behavior of James Bond. James Bond continues, goes to his Casino Royale.
Someone is asking, can you change the script with your advice?
No, the bottom line, and those who heard Murli today, bottom line is drama is fixed. And even the advice from Baba is to change our attitude. And that is invisible shift that is happening.
Would you say this understanding of the fixed nature or the fictional nature of this world is essential to revive the deity Dharm?
Not necessary, but to know that it is a film, that is enough. To know that it is not our world, that is enough. Just like if I go to someone's house, it is not my house, so don't create a bondage there. That is enough. So the invisible prince understands this whole physical world. That is a separate world. That is not mine. Yes, I can't claim anything. I can't expect anything. You can observe. You can be the detached observer of it. Enjoy from a distance, but don't claim.
Someone is asking, when we change our attitude, the drama is responding to?
It is apparent. You feel drama is responding, it is apparent. But many times you will see, you have some feeling, but the drama goes by its own script.
Drama may be fixed, but don't we souls come here to express ourselves and experience what we express?
Just a comment, yeah. or question?
It's a question. It's maybe a repetition, but do we come to express an experience?
Yeah, but you are experiencing, you are expressing, but within the limits of the script. So the bottom line is the script is fixed.
Interesting question. How will things get done, like earning money or cooking food?
Exactly what is the context?
Well, if drama is fixed, how will things get done?
It has happened all this time, and it might happen, and it might not happen one day. There is no cooking, and that is another scene of the drama.
I think you sometimes say like, Maya can use this for our effort, but you wouldn't say, I'll have breakfast if it's fixed in the drama. You'll make effort to make your breakfast. So
yes.
it's not that it makes everything stop that way. Question from the Spanish group. As in the movie, our destiny is already established and will not change, but we can change our attitude before what happens to us. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, that is very clear. The example was a child watching a film is crying, and the mother realizes that her child is not having a clear understanding what is happening, and mother explains this is just a film and no one can harm us, and we will be going back to daddy, and we'll be having dinner very soon. It creates clarity to the child, and then child is able to enjoy the film, because mother is so sure about all this, and child feels okay about all this. And in the next time child comes again, child knows that dragon is not going to harm them. It is just in time attitude has changed, understanding has changed. At present we are behaving like children. We are caught into this film like children. We are worried about things and complaining about things, unnecessarily. When we come back behind the line, then it is like adult, and you are amused by what is happening, but never a victim. You are never a beggar. You are never a slave, and so never a demon. You are watching it as an angel and a deity. That mindset is of a deity and an angel. It is there. You can also put a full stop in 1 second. Many things are going on. You can also put a full stop, because everyone is safe. Everyone is immortal. And they all have to come out of that childish, bondage, childish ignorance.
Yeah, very nice. So it's been a really nice way to understand Dharma in a broad sense, and how the Dharma is affected by darkness and more confusion, and the journey through the clans and the different mindsets. It's maybe a good time to create a break. I don't know if that works. There are more questions mainly connected with drama and its fixed nature. So perhaps we can take that after the break, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you have a notional question that might help start discussion in the rooms?
What is the Swa-dharm of the deities? And what is the Swa-dharm for us?
So the Dharma of the self. What is the Swa-dharm for us as Brahmins?
I'm talking Brahmin deity. It is the same.
So it's self-dharma. Okay. So we're just putting that in the chat. And it's an opportunity to meet and encouragement to come into camera in the rooms if you can. And we'll meet back in just over 10 minutes. Thank you. Hello. Welcome back, everyone. It's nice to create a pause, and after that we'll be, I think, visiting Lebanon. So let's create a moment to experience that true Dharma. You. Today we're joined by Anna Doliani. She's originally from Greece and spends a lot of time in Lebanon. Not sure where you're connecting from today, but really warm welcome and happy to hear some thoughts. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lebanon. It has been really very lovely hearing not necessarily everything new. Most of the thoughts that were shared have been heard in one way or another, but it is really amazing what one can do with these truths when we give them proper attention. And the word Dharma always feels such a rich, very deep, not just word, but what these words stands for is very deep and rich and subtle. And here we are, having heard very essential definitions, and of course having understandings about what Dharma is in a logical way. But what I find also absolutely fascinating is that not only we can understand, but we can experience something that it is basically ourselves. We can experience the self, the Dharma of the self, the nature of the self. And not much later, what I really love is that it is all about now and directly and to the essence. So now and very directly, we can all experience instantly who we are. And in a world where everything is a process and everything is for later and everything is difficult and everything is with fears and worries before we even try something, to know that we have, actually not to know, but we have the tools and we can experiment with them right now and every second and experience the true self, the dharma of the self, the nature of the self. But one thing that I find necessary in enjoying the whole game, this inner game, is to start always with the perfection of the self, seeing that the self is perfect. And when we see these, then whatever other patterns like the ones that were just mentioned, worrying, delaying, or postponing, or sometimes feeling discouraged for whatever reason, or lazy, when I learn this art of giving my attention successfully, directly, for some time, at least for some time, some minutes. So when I learn this art and I experience my true self, my true dharma, then I can deal with whatever else comes on the way, and things will come in a very light way and with a lot of conviction about who I am, not intellectual conviction, but the conviction that comes from the heart. So thank you for the invitation, and let us enjoy the journey if we want to see it as a journey, because I think this journey is not a journey that has distances, because we already are the destination. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing this to the front, that it's not a process, that it's an interesting, like, bypassing, isn't it, of the ego. And the ego has got its idea to delaying tactics, but the original Dharma is connected to what is eternal. So it's a waking up rather than, so appreciating hearing that in a different way. Thank you, Anna. And if you're around for any questions that might come your way, it would be lovely. Meanwhile, there is a few for Prashant also around the nature of the drama. So let's come back and see if Prashant would like to.
Thank you. Thank you to Lebanon. It is nice to connect with different region.
Very nice to connect with all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking, let us come to a few minutes of experience, and then we will listen to some words from the Murli after that, and then we can create time for some discussion. And our experience, as was said, remember the two principles. In the first second, the invisible prince, he is seeing that he's lucky. This is the one mantra we have to come back to. Invisible prince is lucky. And he knows everyone is lucky, because he's seeing the alokik dimension clearly. We also see that in 1 second we can come into full light. Invisible prince knows that he is worthy to be loved by God, to belong to God, to have company of God. He is from God's world, God's family. knows God. Invisible Prince knows of this dimension that is changeless and endless. Knows that all are immortal, all are beyond harm, and that no one loses anything. The world is such, this dimension is such, no one loses anything ever. They don't need anything, they don't miss anything. That's why their starting position is from that fullness, complete. And they each all know that they got a best world, best family. It's a region of joy and love. In a true love and full, there are no complications in love. That's why everyone feels safe in this gathering, in this family. But this is all that matters. They are in this truth. Rest all is fiction. They don't go in the world of fiction with the attitude of begging. So even preference can be a begging. Preference in the film. Invisible Prince, he needs nothing and lacks nothing. They're full, knows everyone is lucky, he is lucky, everyone is good, and everyone is lovely. This is like a silent celebration. And this is the eternal celebration. Right now, Prashant is talking, but that is happening in that fiction. Right now. At the same time, we can experience the alokik dimension. Invisible Prince is conscious of that alokik dimension. Independent of the story. As we continue our journey, we remain in that awareness of full light. In the full light, this alokik dimension, the true self, true family, this whole waking reality becomes alive. Thank you. So we thought we'll first read a short passage, few lines from the Murli that we get connected to Baba's words. That is nice.
Sure, I'm going to share a screen just for the meditation aspect of this passage. So this is from a Murli spoken originally on the 18th of June 1970. For how long do you remain in the Abhyakt stage throughout the day? Baba is not asking about the point form, but for how long do you stay in the Abhyakt stage? That is asking you to keep your perfect stage in front of him. Whereas you are thinking or keeping your past efforts in front of you. There is so much difference. At the present time, what is the main subject of your study? The main subject you are studying is to maintain the Abhyakt stage for the maximum period. The result is very low in the main subject. What are 1 or 2 hours of remembrance in front of the complete stage of staying in constant remembrance? Do you have the method in your intellect of creating an Abhyakt stage over a long period of time? Complete knowledge of the method is clear. There's still one thing you do not know how to do, due to which there isn't progress, even though you do have knowledge of it. The one aspect you do not know how to do is that whereas you know how to create expansion and go into expansion, but it is the practice of packing up and merging the expansion that is lacking. You know how to go into expansion of knowledge. The practice of merging the expansion of knowledge, becoming the form of knowledge, the seed form, is lacking.
Thank you. So this is like a nice homework for us for this weekend also. Coming to the essence. And drama has got such an expansion, but the moment we step behind the line, everything is already there. And sometimes just for 1 minute, experience this. That invisible soul in that invisible home is immortal. Everyone is safe. Everyone is immortal. And he needs to know nothing else. Thank you. I'm happy to come to some questions, comments maybe. And tomorrow we'll get a chance to come to our subject, further. And maybe we might not deal with all questions today, but tomorrow.
We have just a few minutes and also a drill. So there are 10 questions here. I don't know whether you want to save them. We have
one question we can take.
Okay. So are we all souls not experiencing our own dramas? Can I not change the outcome of my next drama? That's kind of a theme also in these questions.
Do not see it as my drama. It is a drama. As was said before, that is not our world. That is a story. Invisible Prince, if he's fully in light, he understands his world is separate. Try and get that right fully, that your world is complete and separate. Drama, that is a role and that is a part. It is ego that feels that is so important. He keeps thinking about the drama. So it is a drama, and it may be identical, it may be different, but why that, why it should be different, it should be progressing, it should be. These are the sort of thoughts finish when you say, that is not my story. It's a story. One is just as good as any other. You are enjoying the whole story when you are free.
So that might be a nice experiment or reflection for all of us before tomorrow, is deepening that full detachment and the full range of feelings, emotions that are not dependent on drama. And then from that clean slate, seeing this may be easier to understand some of these concepts, but first discovering the independence. So, any other thoughts on a notional homework before we close?
This itself is a very nice homework, coming to the essence. It is not that much analyzing the Dharma, but more we are in that space, we will discover and experience the Swa-dharm, the beautiful nature of the invisible prince.
Thank you. We have saved any other questions. We'll bring them tomorrow or create a separate recording or session. So that's we're going to go to Madhava now and hear a drill from Bhakdada. Words spoken in meditation. Enjoy. Thank you. We'll see you all tomorrow.
विश्व के चारों